Thank you. Hello, welcome everyone to this panel discussion on enhancing cybersecurity workforce with diverse talent. We welcome you from Pakistan. Good afternoon from all of us, and good morning, good evening, and good day to anyone anywhere in the world who's listening to us. One of the biggest challenges that we've been facing is a dearth of talented workforce in tech, and more so now in the specialized fields like cybersecurity. I am Zainab Hameed. I represent ISACA Karachi chapter as a She Leads Tech liaison, which is an initiative to empower, engage, and elevate women in technology roles. And also, I serve as the IT governance director on the ISACA Karachi chapter. I am a governance consultant, IT governance consultant, and a tech founder right now. I'm setting up my own digital platform for education. So in all of that, what I'm also facing is a dearth of tech talent, and also especially in terms of cybersecurity. ISACA has done some research, and which tells us that nearly 2/3 of the organizations have under satisfied needs for cybersecurity teams. More than half have unfilled cybersecurity positions, and nearly 1/3 are taking companies 6 months or longer to fill unfilled positions. Now, this is not a very old survey. This has been done in 2020, early 2020, and the situation has not changed much as we speak. Why do we keep hearing this, and what do we need to do about this? That is the topic that we want to talk more about today, because there is a mindset change. We need to understand that the talent pool that needs to be filled for cybersecurity roles needs to come from a diverse talent pool. It cannot be limited to only men or women. It needs to be enhanced with a diverse set of people to get trained and fill in the gaps that we have. So I welcome my esteemed panel, and let me do a very quick round of introductions for them, or rather let them introduce themselves. So we will go in no specific order. I will just call out the name. Hussein, if you can go first. In a pool of ladies, you should go first.
Thank you very much, Zainab. Good day to everyone. I am Hussein Hassanali. I am president of the ISACA Karachi chapter. This is the chapter that I was lucky enough to be a founding member, and we established it in 1996. Since then, we've been involved in a number of initiatives that ISACA has. I'm also the general manager and head of IT audit at HBL, Pakistan's largest bank. Uh, this is a brilliant opportunity, and ISACA, the Karachi chapter, is proud to be associated with this initiative. The She Leads Tech, initiative that we floated, ISACA floated, and the chapter got involved in. I'm an ambassador for that, and with Zainab, we've been working to grow this. Hopefully, this session will bear out what we've been doing in this regards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hussein. Saleha, can we have your introduction, please?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Saleha, and I'm currently working in a Transworld Associate, that's a well-known telecommunication sector of the Pakistan. I'm working as an assistant manager in IT. Above that, I have a very good 6+ year experience in IT infrastructure and network security sites in ENP and specifically in telecom sector.
Great. Thank you, Saleha. Uzma.
Hello, everyone. My name is Uzma, and I'm part of Engro Vopak and working there as an HR specialist. Overall, I have a talent acquisition experience of more than 5 years. And before Engro Vopak, I was a part of Royal Friesland Company, Engro Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you, Uzma. Sharafat Bibi, can we hear from you?
Hi everyone. So first of all, I would like to say thanks to CyberX for giving me this opportunity. So this is Sharafat, and it's been like 14 years I'm associated with this industry, and like I have approx 12 years of experience. I served Pakistan, and like a few years back, 2 years back, I just migrated to UAE, and now I'm associated with multinational company in UAE and leading one of the accounts of security here in UAE. Thank you.
Thank you. Farida?
Hello everyone, I'm Farida Damani. I'm an experienced technology professional with over 15 years of work experience with two of the largest banks in Pakistan. I have worked in all three lines of defense, which include IT, information security, and IT auditing. I hold a master's degree in computer science, as well as project management professional and certified cybersecurity fundamentals. Thank you.
Thank you, Farida. So let's move on into our discussion, right into it, and share our thoughts with each other and the people who are listening to us. IT is perceived to be a male-dominated field. Cybersecurity is perceived to be a male-dominated field. What do we do about this? So to Uzma, my question is, women are underrepresented and there is a need to do something about it. What is the role of organization leaders, in your opinion, to do something about it? What is the role of HR, as you are part of the talent acquisition team? What is the role of that team to do something about it in an organization? So over to you, Uzma.
Thank you, Zainab, for giving me an opportunity to such a wonderful platform. And as you know, that Engro is one of the leading organizations of Pakistan, operating in diverse industries, and its employees are knit into a big family, united by the same core values, that is for the drive for success and passion for Pakistan. So the role of leadership is very important in developing such culture of Engro, and we have diversity and inclusiveness as a DNA of our organization. So we welcome equal opportunity employers and welcome individuals from all walk of life. And this is evident from Engro's diverse portfolio. And what I personally believe that this is the leadership which Engro have, because the leaders are the one who shows the ways, knows the ways, and goes the ways. That's the old saying, right? So they have developed the culture that way, that we made whenever we want to hire for a position. So we made a 50-50 ratio pool for the certain positions, and we make sure that D&I part of the recruitment process. Besides that, what I want to say that, as I mentioned earlier, that it is evident from the Engro diverse portfolio that we really encourage D&I. I am the best example of that. When I met with an accident and became a paraplegic, it was very difficult for me to get a position or the job in any of the organization of Pakistan. Even at that time, Engro welcomes me. So I think it's the role of the organization leaders, because they are the one who drive this thing and embed in the policies. That is the most important and critical thing.
Very right. Please continue, Uzma, if you want to add more.
Yeah. So, and the role of HR is very critical now after post-pandemic, because we need to keep an eye on the future trends and revamp the positions accordingly.
Great. So from that perspective, leaders, and we would all agree, it is the tone at the top that makes the most difference. But there is a role for, but there is a role for men to play. Hussein, if I can take it to you and ask you, what is the role that you've played in your organization, and what is the role of bodies like ISACA and others for this same kind of idea to increase diversity talent in cybersecurity?
Right. Thanks for bringing this to me. So I'll start off with two concrete examples. In my previous role with another very large bank in Pakistan, I was the CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer. And at that time, when I took up this role, there were no women in the department. And we grew from that to have a SOC which had 50% women, Security Operations Center. The head of the SOC was a woman, and she helped, and bring in that understanding in this function. So when we say that IT is a male-dominated field, I think we need to contextualize that correctly, because yes, since this field has been predominantly, staffed with men, but if you look at the recent trends, there are more women coming into it than men. I think the way that ISACA has gone and has started talking about she leads tech, that gives us a clue over here. We have men who are leading the function, and maybe that is where the dominated part is coming in, but we have women coming up and trying to fill those roles, and that is where we need to give them an opportunity. We need to show the direction. The male sponsorship part has to come in over here. So this was as the chief information security officer that we grew that. In my current role at this bank, again started with this function, and this function again had zero women. Today we have 40 to 45% women in the team. It was only on the basis of merit that I recruited, on the basis of merit and on the basis of potential, demonstrated potential. And we have women who are coming up, and rubbing shoulders with everyone else. They are heading for the leadership positions, and they are demonstrating that they can hold their own. So, in these are opportunities which I have given, but this is happening across the board. We need to acknowledge the fact that really good things are being done, and this is on the basis of the way that women have come up and have taken charge of their careers. There are things which we'll need to talk about. How does the organization create those opportunities? How does HR actually lead this and create opportunities for the whole organization? Not only, it can not only be for IT or for cybersecurity, it needs to be much wider. I would, Zainab, would you like me to talk further about something over here, or?
No, I would want to add
Happy.
is you've only talked about two organizations, but I'm a witness to a third one where Hussein has been sponsoring women, and I'm one of his sponsoree, if I were to use that word. So he's been one of those who's been out there helping give us a shout out, and thank you, Hussein, for playing that role very actively for decades now. I don't want to disclose ages, but yes, decades now. So
Yes.
we'll
So
move
at
on
Ernst
to
and Young, at Ernst and Young, you came in, you accepted the offer to come in, and you are here today. So you've demonstrated what I'm saying. You actually lived and been the living example. Farida is another one over here. And I would like to thank, like I mentioned about ISACA, also Vices. It's bringing women into not
yes,
only at the grassroots level, but bringing them up to the leadership level. That is the key. That is the requirement now.
yes. So yes, I will have a very small teaser and an insight into what WISES is doing for Pakistan at the end of the session. Thank you, Hussein, for reminding me. We'll move on to Saleha. Hussein and Uzma have talked about being given opportunities by the organization, HR, men, leaders. Can you please share, Saleha, what kind of opportunities you've had and your female colleagues have had in cybersecurity, and how can this be improved?
That's a really interesting question there. If I recall my time when I was graduated, I'm talking about specifically from Pakistan, right? When we graduated, we don't have much opportunity for the cybersecurity domain. Even we don't have a degree program that time for specifically for the cybersecurity or information security side. So that time was really challenging. If someone is want to cater their career in a information or cybersecurity domain, that time was really challenging. But if I see now the real time, I believe we as a nation, as a society, and as an organization, we are now very much inclined with the security needs. So we're basically getting better, and I'm happy that this field is not confined to the male members only. That we discussed that previously IT was purely the male dominant field. But information security, cyber security is the team which I believe is not a male dominant anymore. It's not like the thing that only male they are confined to this role only. As Hussein Saab said, they have a very much big team of cybersecurity team of women. Likewise, I know very much leading companies. I know a few of them. They have a proper team of this. They are basically based on a women, and they are operating their teams very well. So girls and the women, they are coming with a proper background, with the degree program, and with the complete understanding. So obviously, such with the such background, organizations always prefer to choose the focused person. So I think now the time has been changed, opportunity being given to the women now as well. Like I'm the example, when I was joined this organization, and previously I was working in a company that was a oil and gas exploration company. I was the first one lady in the IT department, and then I switched to the security team, and now in a Transworld I'm working as a infrastructure plus network security team. So I'm still a single one, but I'm happy that I'm a part of this team which are actually promoting a women in this field. So now the time has been changed, I think, and it's a good thing.
Yes, Saleha, you are so right. Somebody has to start, right? And somebody has to take that first step. And at times it is also felt that women are very hesitant to take that step. It is not, it is sometimes us who are hesitant to break that glass ceiling. But yes, if you've taken that first step and you're the trailblazer for the other girls who want to come and see what kind of opportunities are out there, then that's very, very, very brave of you. And thank you for sharing that experience. Farida, moving on to you. I'm sure you've also had some opportunities that you would want to like to share with us and other female colleagues around you, especially in the cybersecurity space. And if you have any tips for all of us to improve the opportunities that are around.
Sure. Thank you, Zainab. First of all, I would like to share my experience. I started as software developer and progressed to become an IT project manager. After 10 years as a technology profession, I was looking for opportunities in project management, but fortunately, I met someone, not anyone else, but Hussein Hassanali, who guided me to convert my software development experience into assessment of security controls because I had a good understanding about how to embed security controls in software development process. Initially, I was not sure and I was really hesitated, but I researched and found out that there is a huge shortage of skilled professional in application security. So I recognized that this is the direction for me. I also realized that at times opportunities come before we are fully prepared and ready for it. And in that case, we should trust our capabilities and potential, take guidance from experts and mentors, be ready to go out of comfort zone, and must choose to challenge ourselves. During my work as security professional, I developed the application security framework and established this unit within the information security function. I was given numerous opportunities, trust me, numerous opportunities to promote application security, conduct security trainings, and also participate in number of external security forums, conferences, and trainings. I was also provided cybersecurity training in Silicon Valley. I have been extremely fortunate that my career as security professional progressed very well due to the excellent support of the leadership and my organization. Now, I would like to discuss the second part of your question, how we can improve women, giving opportunities to the women in cybersecurity. As we all know that information and cybersecurity have become paramount, and many good organizations have become gender agnostic in terms of hiring security professionals. If we look around at the cybersecurity landscape, not only globally, but as well as regionally, more considerations and opportunities are now being given to women than ever before. I think at organization level, the recruitment programs should be designed and implemented to encourage more women in IT and cybersecurity. Further, specific focus should be given in organization to elevate women in leadership roles. This is very important. In addition to above, organization must provide remote working, work from home facilities, flexi hours, and many other facilities which would help women to continue working while supporting their families. Thank you.
Thank you, Farida. Thank you. And it is heartening to hear and encouraging to hear that opportunities are out there. It is for us to grab them. For us to take a leap of faith, to do the unknown, and be out there and get help if we need, but do it, right? Not leave the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So coming to you, Sharafat. We've talked about role of management in organizations, but if you can elaborate a little more specifically on the role of management and organization to mentor and sponsor high potential talent. And do you think they're playing their role? What can we do to improve and see more women and differently able people in leadership roles?
Right. So thank you so much, Zainab. Let me divide your question into three parts, right? So first of all, I would like to answer the first part, right, which is related to the role of the management in mentoring and sponsorship, right? So like as all of like we have idea that the main goal of sponsoring and mentoring is to provide some kind of guidelines to the employees to enhance their careers, and it is all about the decision making and career choices, right? We can facilitate the employees, we can facilitate the people who are around us in order to make better decisions to enhance their careers. So I believe like the management can play very important role in order to enhance the career, especially for the women. When we talk about mentoring and sponsorship, so already discussed that the main goal of the mentoring and sponsorship is to give better guidance and decisions. So like when we talk about the mentoring and sponsorship, it has its own value for the employees, especially for the women. When we have this type of culture like mentoring and sponsorship, the women would be able to get more opportunity. Because why? There are few reasons behind this. So for example, when we have this culture mentoring and sponsorship, then the women will be able to get more opportunity. They will be having the high success rates, and they will be well prepared for the opportunities, for the promotions, and plus they will feel more comfortable. Like they will be having if they have some kind of good career, if they have some sponsor, if they have mentor available within the organization around them, so of course we will feel more comfortable. And it will also help us to prepare ourselves to meet the new challenges, to meet the new opportunities as well. But yes, there is a role of management as well to provide us all these opportunities, because it has the benefits for the employees as well, plus it has the benefits to the organization as well. So let me give an example. If we are more confident, if we have the more opportunities, if a proper sponsorship has been provided to us, then of course we will be more confident and we will be more proactive, and we will be delivering more beyond the expectations. So when we are delivering the more results, when we have the opportunities, when we are confident, when we have the comfortable environment available, then of course will produce very well. And it also provide some kind of committed employees to the organization, because like the people or the women who have more sponsorship, who have mentor available around them, they want to stay with the organization. They will not leave the organization. They would like to stay, they would prefer to stay with the organization. So this has benefits for the organizations as well. And when we talk about the mentor and sponsorship, it also help the people, help the employees to produce well. So this particular this particular delivery will also support us, will also help us to meet the meet the objectives of the organization. So in my opinion, like this particular culture can help out the organization to meet their objectives as well. So when we talk about the role of the role of the management, then of course the management can support us in a very better way. The first thing is they should create some kind of networking environment for the women. So they should like give them the more opportunity to coordinate, to interact with the people, with the leaders who are around us. And the second suggestion is that the management should also for example, when we talk about the mentor and sponsorship, so the management should also give the more opportunity to the women. They should also support us in order to implement their ideas, in order to endorse their ideas. So for example, when our ideas will be endorsed, so of course we'll be more confident, and this will give us more opportunity to improve ourselves. So this can be these are few of the roles that management can play very well. So your second question was, I believe it was related to that whether we have achieved this or not. So I believe indeed we are about to achieve this, right? Because so for example, let me tell you an example about this mentor and sponsoring. uh, Recently, just few days back, we have just received an information regarding, like, in the UAE, securities and commodities authority has just announced that there should be at least one female leader in the board of directors. So see, the countries are taking this kind of decisions at the governance level. So I believe that we should have this kind of practices, or we should have this kind of ruling at the governance level. So because like right now in the security exchange of the UAE, there are 110 listed companies, and when we will be having one leader, so it means we'll be having 110 female leaders, which will be who will be a part of the board of directors. So as far as my opinion is concerned, so I think we should have these kind of practices, we should have these kind of policies, practices, or the ruling from the government level, from the governance level. Then of course we can achieve this particular objective.
That's so insightful, Sharafat, and that is so correctly said. The last point I will just add that in Pakistan, SCCP has already mandated one female board of director, at least one, or 10%. I think then that's the rule. Or there is a mandatory requirement for women on the board, and this also helps them grow into leadership positions. I fully agree to that.
Right. So it means, Zainab, we have already thinking about these kinds of things, because we believe the women can help us to improve, women can help us to achieve the organization's objective and to improve the environment and so on. So yeah, exactly. So we are already online.
Yes. It is for us to also take that opportunity, as we were discussing with Farida. And moving on to Hussein, just before that, let me share some data that I have from ISACA's tech workforce survey. The age and gender perception gap: 30% of women say they're facing unequal growth opportunities, and only 59% of women say their employers have a program to encourage the promotion and advancement of women. Organizations need to provide support to women to grow into leadership positions. That is the crux of it. If women grow into leadership positions, then they have a more powerful role to play. So Hussein, coming to you, since we have fewer women in decision-making positions, fewer women and differently able people, let's broaden our definition of inclusion. And we depend on men to sponsor others. We talked about some parts of the sponsorship earlier also. And what would you encourage men to do to become more positive sponsors? A, and what would you encourage women to take on as training, as education in technology and cybersecurity related areas, for them to be able to be recognized as leaders also? So two questions to you,
Great.
then.
I'll try and remember all of those.
I will
I'll try
remind
and
you.
remember all of those. If I miss something, then please
Yeah.
do jog my memory. So I think one of the key things, while we say that yes, there are less and all of that, and men sponsors, one thing that I have noticed, and this is in various conversations that happen, is a lack of awareness, and men not being able to, uh, many men, not everyone. There are quite a few who are able to do that and work effectively, but they are hesitant because they don't know where a woman will come up with some challenge that she has, some family related situation, and then what happens with their project. For example, uh, we've seen this happen during this COVID situation, during the pandemic. People are working from home, or even when they are in the office. If the child is not well, it is the woman who needs to then, usually stay at home and take care of the child. And so she's not able to work. She's not able to attend meetings. Now, all of those constraints come up. So, these are challenges that are there. It is unfortunately the stereotyping that happens. And it's the unconscious bias, I would say, which tells men, all right, let me go with the safe option, get another man in this role. He won't have all this baggage to carry. Now, organizations need more awareness. It's not only in the field of cybersecurity or IT that women need that sort of understanding, but organizations need to open up. It has to be in the context of a cultural shift, and so it needs to be wider. Some good things are there, like you mentioned about SECP and Sharafat mentioned about. So the government is bringing those initiatives in place to enable women to come up and we get to the top. And we have some very good examples. If we see our own financial services regulator, you have the deputy governor is a woman, and she's come up through the ranks. So there are brilliant examples all around, but we need to focus on that. We need to be able to set up a level playing field in that regards. This has happened in the West, and I've seen, while I was working over there in various organizations, this is the norm. So there are various, not accommodations, but these are practices and opportunities that are available, facilities that are available to all men and women. But there are things that women need to do. They really need to step forward. They need to engage, to be able to demonstrate. Unfortunately, a lot of women do not engage with the employers. They do not engage with the management. They are not able to, address that unsaid reservation that is there. And so people have to go out, sort of trusting that things will remain normal and it will happen. How can they do this? How can women do this? And that is where, one is the training part, that they have gone through, undertaken quality training. Those opportunities are available now. We have various master's programs that are available. Sharafat was teaching in one such program over here, one renowned program. You've been teaching something. I've been, there are certifications that are available. And ISACA itself has 4 core certifications, but so many more certifications have now come up. And those are the ones that people can go for, which would demonstrate a commitment. Organizations need a commitment, demonstrated commitment, that here is a woman who is committed to her career. She has taken these extra steps, or she is taking these steps, and then they would want to invest in them. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen that you get everyone giving you the opportunity and investing in you without you doing those initial steps to be able to demonstrate this. So there are certifications. We can talk about those. There is the CISM, the Certified Information Security Manager certification. This will help people get from the basic level up to the management level. There are the cybersecurity CSX certifications that ISACA has, the fundamentals, the practitioner level. There are other such certifications, and people who are interested can always engage with us, and we can have a chat. But that's all there. We, when I say engage with us, all of our panelists are available on CyberX and the ISACA forums. We can have that discussion. But that is important, women need to demonstrate. And the other thing that I would I think is extremely important. It's a lesson that we have learned many times. We know about it, but we tend to forget. It's to network. It's to network. How do people know you? How do people know the people on this panel? It's because they have gone out and networked, right? If you don't show up, uh, if you're that hidden diamond that's buried in the ground, nobody knows, right? So
That's
you have to network. You have to come to these forums. How many people do? How many women do? You see, our sessions are packed with men. You only have a few women over there. So I think
Very
we
well
need.
said, Hussein sir.
I I
somebody wants
want
to
to
add
add,
something?
yeah, I want to add
Please,
something to Hussein and the
please.
Sharafat. As they said that Hussein just said that a woman have to come and step forward and demonstrate. It is the right thing women wants to do. It's depend on the opportunity also. If they're working in any organizations, are they getting the opportunity or not? That is very important part of the woman to come forward. So, for example, if I mention about the Engro, like I'm sure you must know that Engro have the first female truck driver. In third, Engro have the first female coal mining engineer. And besides that, if I particularly talk about the IT sector, Engro Vopak started a program with the name of Tech Karo to empower young women to bridge the gender digital gap in Pakistan. And then they provided them the opportunity. Basically, those females are from the low income society, but they provided them the opportunity to equip themselves and enhance their skills in the IT sector. So it depends on the organizations. Either they can provide them the opportunity or not. That is very important thing. People have the potential. People have the tendency to do many things. Either it's a woman or man, but it's about the right opportunity. And I totally agree with you about the networking. Networking is very important, but again, it comes back to the opportunity that either the person is getting the opportunity or not.
I just want to add
It
one
is
thing
a
here.
two-way. Just
Sorry
yeah,
to
please,
cut you,
Sharafat,
Zainab.
go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead, please.
So I just want to add one thing that a relationship or the networking is very important. Meanwhile, we have to focus on the performance or the delivery as well. My recommendation to all women is we always should prefer, or we should always focus to go beyond the expectations, not to just meet the expectations, but to go
Yeah,
over or to meet over
yeah,
expectations. So I believe this will help us to improve the relationship as well. Plus, it will help
I
us to get more opportunities.
agree.
So
Agree.
it
I
is.
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sorry. So,
It is.
then okay.
So there are, these are three key pillars for helping women and differently abled. A is our own performance. It's our own ability to go out there and do it, take on the
Yes.
challenges head on and perform. So there is nothing comes without that performance there or the hard work. But then again, there is very important to have the organizations create the opportunities. But that is not possible if you're not networking. Not everything comes. A lot of, at least a lot of my roles have come through my network. A lot of work that I do is coming through my network, and a lot of people would agree that a lot of people here are through networks also. So it is very important that we take all of these three pillars very seriously and give the due importance to each. Let me put it like that: the due importance to each, because if we are just performing and we're not out there showing what we're doing, it doesn't help us. But if we are only showing what we're not doing, then it doesn't help us. So it has to be a three-way street. So moving on to the next question, if I may, or Hussein, you want to add something?
I wanted to just add, the organization giving the opportunities, it is then the organization has to think, all right, I need to do something about women, right? Instead, women need to challenge the status quo and demonstrate. How does the organization come to know, all right, what can women do? You're saying organizations are, at a certain level of maturity, they would, but not every organization would, right? So that is where you need to step forward and say, all right, see, you've given me these two things to do, but here are the five things that I can also do. Like Sharafat said, go beyond what is assigned to you. Then their eyes will open, sort of. Sorry, just taking that
Yeah.
forward.
So moving on to the next top point of discussion is research has shown, we've done some local research also on this, which shows that basic facilities and enabling policies are missing, with the facilities that help to retain and elevate women and differently abled in organizations. How can we improve conditions in organizations to help retain and elevate women in these roles? So Sharafat, if I can take it to you first and then Uzma you as an HR person.
Yeah. So Zainab, like in my opinion, if the organization is giving some kind of opportunities to women, so for example, the flexi hours, if they make such kind of policies, formal policies for the women, so if they can give some kind of flexi hours to the women, or if they can some kind of if they can give some kind of like shifting shift based working, or they can introduce these kind of policies, so this can help out. Of course this will help out to women to retain their career in the field of technology, cybersecurity, or any kind of it. Like it will, these kind of opportunities will help out the women. In my opinion, like these are two basic things, because when I had a baby, like so at that time I seriously felt that these kind of opportunities should be there in my organization. So fortunately at that time I was a part of one financial sector, so these kind of opportunities were provided to me, and I'm very thankful to my organization. But this should be provided to all women.
Thank you, Sharafat. Uzma, as an HR person, what kind of policies do you think we should be building in, especially in an organization that you are sitting in has a lot of good inclusion policies? So if you could share some of those with us.
Yes, so we do have the flexible our policy for the women. We do have the daycare center for the women, especially for the working mothers, and we do have the like if they can want to work from home, even pre-pandemic, they have the chance to work from home also. After the post-pandemic, obviously things get shifted. The mindset also gets shifted. Now the person are working or people are working from the home. So coming to your second part, that is the differently able people, how to retain them. That is a very important and challenging thing for the organization like mature organization like Engro. Basically, they have to develop. First of all, I would like to tell you that we don't have a proper infrastructure in Pakistan, right? Secondly, we don't have a proper transportation, inclusive transportation for the person with differently able. Even if they want to go and to be the part of any organization, it is very difficult for them to come out from their home because there's no local transportation that can facilitate a person with wheelchair. So these are the basic things. If you talk about in terms of the policy, then you have to bring the person with differently able into mainstream. Even if they show that they can do thousand and beyond their limits, but still there is a little mindset which we need to change. That don't we have to give them in the mainstream. We have to give them the projects in the mainstream, and then you have to check their abilities. So that is the only way you can retain the person with differently able. If you just hire them for the numbers, then it is very difficult for you to retain them, because if they will come to the office early in the morning and just they have to do what the clerical things, just to paper the thing or something like that, and not giving them the role according to their capabilities, according to their degree, so it will be very difficult to retain them. So these are the things which every organization have to include in their policies. You have to give them the proper infrastructure, proper washroom facilities. We don't have proper washroom facilities in Pakistan. Engro is one of the organization who provides all these things. But besides that, if I talk about the other organization, these facilities should be given to each and every person with different abilities, so that they can come out from their silos and they can be the useful national of Pakistan. So these are the things which we really need to work on.
Thank you,
Usma, I
Uzma.
just want to add one thing here. Sorry, Zainab, to cut you. So, like as Usma talked about the infrastructure. So, one thing that is very important, like for example, if we have these kind of people in our technology department, so now we have the technology available as well so for example, we have the visual technologies available, we have the other technologies available, and I think with the help of with the help of these kind of technologies, we can encourage the differently abled people more to adopt the challenging role. So we have the infrastructure available, we have these kind of supporting technologies available. We should just go to adopt these technologies, and we should encourage the people to work more in a better way.
Thank
Zainab,
you,
I totally
Sharafat.
agree with you. I totally agree with you about the technology. If you talk about the post-pandemic, things have changed, as I mentioned earlier. But if you want a person with a wheelchair to come out from the home, right? And to come to offices, that is a very difficult for them, especially in Pakistan currently, because we don't have a proper transportation system for that. So these are the challenges which we have to start from the grassroots level, actually.
So Uzma, you would be surprised, but we did a survey last year, year before, and we were trying to understand what kind of washroom facilities are there for women. And like you said, differently abled are challenged. Even women were facing some challenges. And it is very important to have these kind of basic infrastructures around for us to retain and keep them go make them a part of our workforce, women and differently abled both, to give them the proper facilities. So if we talk about special programs, we've talked about retaining. If we move on to recruiting, uh, should there be any special programs, Farida, for recruiting women and differently able in cybersecurity, and especially those who are coming back after a career break? So do we need to have special programs for that?
Thank you, Zainab. Yes, organization must have exclusive recruitment programs to encourage women, including those taking a career break and differently able in technology, cybersecurity professions. Like organization market their products and services to get consumer to target specific consumer. Likewise, organization must also market to attract talented women and differently able people, not only for IT cybersecurity, but generally for the organization. These need to become part of organization culture so that women and differently abled people feel supported and home. This is about making a cultural change within the organization, which will help to create an inclusive environment for differently abled people. Organization need to have a mindset to accommodate special needs. Special needs include physical access to the facilities and office, carry out a computer workstation ergonomics, which include assessment of chair, workstation, screen, specific hardware and software requirements. These are all special needs for differently people. I'm a 4 feet tall. I would like to share my experience. I'm a 4 feet tall, and physically, it is really challenging for me to carry a standard bigger size laptop and move around the office. My organization realized my specific need, and I have been assigned with the smaller side, light weighted laptop. Such accommodation makes me feel like support. My organization has supported me in this particular case. Further, I would also like to add awareness and training must be provided to all staff to appropriate behaviors that enable effective working with women and differently able people when they are part of this organization. Thank you.
So rightly put, Farida, the organizations need to be flexible to understand the different needs. Not everything can be defined upfront, but as the case comes in, they should be able to accommodate and find that flexible solution. And also, as you talked about recruitment, I so fully agree. There is such a big diverse pool of talented people, women and differently able around. They need the messaging, the communication needs to be for them to be able to want to join the organization and find that value add for themselves also in an organization. So Saleha, one of the things that has come up in our research also is that because there is a lack of role models or at least knowledge about the role models around us, it could be a major reason for underrepresentation of women in and differently able. Do you agree? And if you do, then what should we do about it?
Yeah, Zainab, I completely agree with this. Actually, if we see from the recent patterns, the participation of women is actually getting increased in science and technology field, right? In fact, not science and technology, in fact, everywhere. So, but I believe when it comes to the recruitment, it never works equally somehow. Real situation is like 50-50, either they got a very good opportunity and sometimes they might get nothing. So it's completely the 50-50 situation in a current scenario. So I think we should promote each other regardless of gender. And further, I believe this organization culture is organically grows from its core values. As we discussed from Sharafat and Sensab, they told us like how in Uzma that Engro, HPL and SCCP, as you show, discuss that how they promote women in a leadership positions. So I think we should work on those things as well at all level, not in a in a leading organization only. It should be at all level that there must be some, they have to mandate some leadership position for the women at all levels. So this thing, I think this culture would definitely help to encourage diversity in our workforce. So that really much needed requirement here for women.
That's great. So we just had a few hours ago a session on role models, and we did share some diverse roles and careers that women in cybersecurity can have and are having in Pakistan. So this is something that needs to be showcased more and shared more for more women to be encouraged and pave the way for future leaders. Now we have one question, Hussein, if you would want to take that. I can. Have you seen an increase in the number of non-technical roles in cybersecurity, especially with running awareness programs?
Yes. So there definitely have been roles now. So, initially it used to be that it was only technical people who could get into cybersecurity. No longer is that the case. Of course, there are the awareness programs. If we were to look at social engineering, social media attacks, phishing being one of the most popular ones, to counter that, you cannot do anything other than the best approach is to make your customers, your staff aware of these things. So there's a huge amount of work in that regards. There are tools that can be used, questionnaires that can be used, tests that can be used for that, in addition to all of the sending out of information. So yes, and it has to be done smartly. It cannot just be a bombardment. So there's definitely a need, there's definitely opportunities in that regard. But apart from just awareness, there are also things like the governance part, that needs to be done, policies, procedures to be established, ways to be, established on how to carry out, looking at the risk assessments, the planning of all of it, bringing it all together. Is what being done, is that enough? Is that adequate? So apart from the technical part, there are many more roles coming up, and these are happening these as we talk. So financial services, of course, invests the most in cybersecurity, and they have these roles, but they are coming up across the board in other organizations also.
Thank you,
Definitely.
Hussein. And as we
Zainab,
spoke in the morning,
may I
Ji
include one
Sharafat.
thing? Yeah, sorry again. So I just want to add one comment because, like Susan said, just talked about the non-technical role in the cybersecurity. So let me tell you one thing. Like the European Central Bank, they have one framework with the name of like CROW. Cyber resilience oversight expectations. So this is one of the frameworks specifically designed for the cybersecurity. And when I just went through this framework, so believe me, it's mainly asking to have cybersecurity strategy, to have cybersecurity awareness program, to have assessments, to have risk management. So like this particular framework has started with these kind of like non-technical roles, non-technical activities. So of course this particular field is for both, for technical people plus for non-technical people.
Thank you so much for adding that. I was just about to say that, like Hussein said, governance is where it starts. And that's where risk management is one of the keys. The women that we spoke to in the morning were lawyers, researchers, academicians, um, risk analysts, and more. So there is a lot of non-technical roles also out there for people who want to take them. There is one more question. And I don't know, I'll just post the question and maybe one of you can pick it up. Are you working on any initiatives to help underprivileged communities with attaining cybersecurity training and certification? So I have one answer for this, which is which is not to be totally announced today, but we are in. There is a pipeline initiative for a global platform like Women in Cybersecurity to come into Pakistan as a Pakistan affiliate, and we are in the process of working on that and setting that up. And that would open a lot of opportunities, which would be free of cost for a lot of people who want to take it. Gee, anybody else knows of any initiatives for the underprivileged community?
If I can just add that ISACA has the Community Day in October,
Yes.
and at the
Wow.
last Community Day, we did that for community-based schools. With teachers, we taught them cybersecurity. We gave them an orientation which they
Yes.
could then, convey to their students. So yes, we are working. ISACA is working with underprivileged communities
Yes.
in this area.
As I mentioned earlier, that not for the cybersecurity, yes, but for the IT sector, we are doing the program Tech Karo, and maybe in future we will take it to the cybersecurity thing also. But currently, we are covering the IT, basically IT, web development, and digital marketing, that area.
So that's a good takeaway for all of us, and to talk about it in our communities, to set up boot camps, extend the IT boot camps that are happening into cybersecurity domain. So with a few minutes left, and I don't think there are any more questions, we can do a very quick concluding remark from each one of you. If you could take a few seconds to give your concluding remark on the topic, and one tip that you would say, one of the most important steps in your opinion, which can play a key role in elevating women indifferently able to leadership positions and creating opportunities for them in cybersecurity. So if we could go with Hussein and move on from there.
Could I come in at the end instead, just so that
Sure. Saleha, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure, no problem. In conclusion, I would say just to provide the equal economical as well as cultural opportunities to the women, to show them their stamina and their spark in them. And that's how I think we can promote women, not only in a cybersecurity, but everywhere we are working. As we already discussed, that we have a charm, but all we need is opportunity. So opportunity is the thing that really needed everywhere, not only just in some specific areas, but it needs to be everywhere.
Thank you, Saleha. Farida.
First of all, the cultural change, mindset change at the organization level, to accept women in leadership role, uh, plus professional training for women so that they can do leadership role with more confidence, with more like to the extent that they should be accepted by the organization and the people around. So professional training and the mindset shift are two important things which I think should be within the organization, should be happen within the organization.
Great input, Farida. Sharafat, how would you see it?
Okay, so I have just few advices for the women. I will not give any kind of advice to the organizations because I have already covered this part. So to the women, I would just say to open your wings and try to fly. You need to be more focused. You need to be more focused on the networking. So get ready for the big roles, get ready for the big challenges, for the assignments, build confidence, advance your career, and be proactive. So this is my advice to women.
And Sharafat Bibi is around there to mentor and coach you too. So yes, yes, I know her journey, so I know she's been through a lot of challenges, but she's there and she's out there building her career in cybersecurity. Uzma, if we can
Yeah, so
have some
women
more.
Yeah, thank you, Zainab. Basically, I totally agree with Sharafat, whatever she said to the women. So that's a great thing. And women contribute to the organization at all levels. And from HR perspective, I will tell you one thing, that all the organization should keep the challenges of the women in the mind and provide them or support them by enabling framework. So if there is a working woman, so there should be a daycare facility. For example, I'm just giving you an example. So there should be a daycare facility for in an organization, and if you are taking person with different abilities on board, so you have to have the framework according to their ability. So that is the best and most important need of our time. And secondly, one of our participants said that the mindset, especially for the person with different abilities, because still we really take them as like they cannot take much challenges, but no, the mindset needs to change. They can be the more more productive than as a normal person. So just give them a try.
Fully agree, Uzma, on that. Hussein, now to you.
Yes, come and join forums so that you have a voice like the She Leads Tech, ISACA, the Voices. You need to get a voice out there.
So a great discussion, guys. Women need to do it themselves, for themselves. They need to network. They need to be out there, fly. Great word we picked up. Great discussion. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, CyberX and Beyond Borders 2021 to give us the opportunity to take this discussion up from Pakistan and showcase that there is a lot of talent out here, and we are also discussing these critical topics and are trying to solve this for us also. So thank you again, all of you, for joining us today on this discussion and sharing your insights. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Zainab.
you.
Thank you.